35 to 40 minutes for a big
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another week, the second week of our Waters of the Deep campaign, based currently in the island city of Haven. Last week we started off and kind of started introducing our characters a little bit. We've got, I'll let them do their own introductions. Um, so
It's
yeah,
all right. Don't worry about it.
let's kick into that. And Becky, you can go first. Or Becca, sorry.
No, it's all good. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay. I had some mic problems. Sorry. Hi, everyone. I'm Rebecca. I'm playing the Sea Elf Ranger, Gloomstalker Ranger. Is that it? Is there more?
Whatever you want. It's your introduction.
Cool.
You're not a Gloomstalker yet, though.
Right.
I know that's your plan, but you're not quite there yet.
I have big dreams, man.
Big dreams. There you go. Brad, go ahead.
Hello, everybody. I'm Brad, and I am playing. Let me make sure I got the right character here. Otis. I also play Erdon on the Friday Night campaign. But tonight I will be playing Otis. Otis is the Simic hybrid cleric. Oh, yeah.
All right, Katie.
Hi, I'm playing Silt, the Tabaxi Warlock. Don't need to know anything else about me right now.
Pam. Pamela.
Oh, sorry, I can hear you. Hi, everybody. I am Pam. I am playing Pearl. Pearl is a paladin, and she kind of has a pirate background attached to her, and that's all she's gonna say at the moment.
And Mike.
Hi, everybody. I'm Mike. Tonight I play as Taddy the Rogue. Yeah, that's about all there is to Taddy right now. If anybody watched last episode, you'll know that he's got slick hands. That's about all there is to reveal right now. We'll let time reveal the rest.
Little sticky figure action.
Yeah.
All right. Well, last week, you guys woke up again with no memories of your past lives. You could only remember the last year, which was spent as slaves for the Thronemen. You were immediately thrust into a battle to earn a chance to earn your freedom as well as your memories back. You narrowly gained your opportunity and won your pit match against some grungs and sahias or whatever they're called, little fish people. I think I just got a follow. I can't read the thing there. But thanks for the follow, Adolole. But anyways, so you guys beat your pit battle and earned a chance to earn your freedom as well as your memories back. You were tasked with a job to go to the Misty Mermaid, a ship currently docked, provide a physical lesson to the captain, a drow named Kamer, to not fuck or dishonor the thronemen anymore. You were also tasked to steal back 300 gold worth of materials from the ship, as well as disabling the ship without destroying it as a warning to other captains not to dishonor the Horde. You made your way from the pit down through the Shadowfey Burrow, through the market, to the Temple District, where you stopped into the Temple of Talos, and both Odes and Pearl, upon seeing their emblems of Poseidon, were immediately spat upon, called heathens, and told to get the fuck out. And then you made your way over to the Rusty Anchor, which is really the only established tavern in Haven. Along the way, you bumped into a couple of goblins who ended up at the Rusty Anchor as well, who claimed to be crew members of the Misty Mermaid, and got a little bit of information from them. Then as soon as you entered the Rusty Anchor, Miss Pearl looked around and found somebody who looked a little down on their luck. Convinced them to go for a walk to get some fresh air to an alley where she did some bitey bite, making sure that none of her party members saw her. And that's where we left off this week, with Gallon kind of trailing after Pearl, knows where she went but doesn't know what she did, and bringing her sandwich. So we're going to pick it up right there. Pearl, you are exiting the alley. Gallon, you can see her exiting the alley.
Gallon shouts out, Pearl, waving dramatically.
She's gonna wave back. Oh, hi, there you are. Oh, hello.
I have a sandwich and some ale.
Oh, that sounds so good. I'm starving right now. Let's go inside. I'll tell you later what happened. Let's go inside.
Sounds good to me.
Make a perception check, Gallon.
Wait, sorry, did you say gal?
Yeah.
Was it me? Okay. Perception check. Abilities. Did anyone pull up? There's.
Okay. You don't notice anything out of the normal. Pearl seems spunky and full of life. But you guys head back into the Rusty Anchor. And remember, the Rusty Anchor is packed. Everything is loaded. Daytime, it's hard to find anywhere to go where it's not crowded. I wasn't going to bog down the map with a couple hundred tokens. But alright, you guys are back in the tavern. What are y'all up to? You'd all gotten drinks and sandwiches, which Taddy paid for.
Good old Taddy.
As the women approach, I'm gonna kind of look over my shoulder at Pearl. Did you get your rocks off with your buddy there?
Something like that.
Good. Can we get back to business now?
Maybe.
Can't we all just get along?
Y'all seem to be getting along just fine. But what are y'all doing?
Well, I mean, Taddy's eating his food, drinking his ale, enjoying his taste of freedom at the moment. I know we're not 100% out, but we're not in the cages anymore. Well, confinements, whatever we were in. But he's been contemplating our next move. Kind of looking to see where the rest of the group is at this moment in time. So I'll continue with what my plans are once everybody else gets a chance to relay what they're doing.
I'm going to look around the tavern and see if I notice anybody who happens to have the symbol of Poseidon or anything like that.
Make a perception check for me.
I'll use guidance for that.
Aside from Pearl with her emblem, you don't see any religious symbolism of note.
Well, yeah. He's just gonna look over at Pearl and be like, so when did you start following Poseidon?
We can say some time ago.
You guys you've known each other over the last year. So you would know that she's always had that emblem. And she doesn't remember anything before what you can remember. So.
Well, there goes that idea.
Some time ago, for a while, for what I can remember, which is not a lot, but.
So I'll give you guys a new player nudge. You have roughly 30 hours to pull off this Misty Mermaid job, and you still don't know exactly where the ship is. So you should probably be formulating some sort of plan on how to do that.
We do know that the crew is still at that table right now with all the goblins.
Yep, the crew is there. You talked to the goblins in the street. They confirmed that the captain
will be here in the morning.
Stays on the ship, but he will come to the Rusty Anchor for breakfast before setting sail again.
So should we talk to the fellow crew members and get any details about the ship, the size of it, anything like that, how we can board in the morning and get a job, and then pursue our plans?
They told us the captain would be here tomorrow for breakfast. I say, if any of us are sneaky, we follow one of them, see where they go.
You can do that.
We could always see if they have a cleric of Poseidon that's with them. Usually they go on trips on boats and make sure that, you know.
With the Poseidon again, what is with you?
Hey, what can I say?
Less. You could say less.
I think you guys are overthinking this way too much. Way too much.
No,
We know that crew over there will be leaving that table here shortly because they're in the midst of their meal. When they're done, they'll be heading back to the ship. All we need to do is follow them and find out where the ship is. We know that we need to steal 300 gold worth of crap, which is probably locked up in the captain's quarters. So once we get to the ship, all we gotta do is get inside to the captain's quarters, get the ship, and then leave something behind for the captain. And that should cover 2 over 3 tasks. The last one will be to disable the ship. But I mean, I can't think of everything here, guys.
Are we sure that they're going to go back to the ship tonight?
One way or another, I'm sure they will.
I do like the 2 parts of that plan is follow them, get the goods. While we're there, sabotage the ship, and then fuck with the captain in the morning when he's at breakfast. Because that's our third task, is he needs to receive the message. Not kill him, but that's because we know that's where he's going to be.
Well, if he's in his captain's quarters this evening, I mean, we can do the message with collecting the items. We can kill 2 birds with 1 stone in one spot. The question is how do we sabotage the ship?
We take some parts of the.
Pam, make just a straight intelligence check for me.
Who check?
Pam, intelligence.
Intelligence?
Yep.
Oh, there goes that, but, you know.
With advantage, sorry.
That's gonna help a little bit.
You don't know how you know what you know, but you know that there is a rope that runs from the helm to the rudder that steers the ship. You know that the sails, while the ship is docked, are tied up to the mast. Um, and you know that the anchor is connected to the mast in the lower hull, and that destroying any three of those connections or multiple of those three connections would set the ship back a hefty amount, both cost wise and ability to sail wise. But you have no idea where that information comes from. You just know it.
Okay. So we could use either the rope. I'm just gonna kind of like think to herself, mess that up, or the third option was the anchor. She's saying this out loud and thinking out loud, so it's kind of weird how she's saying it, but as she's thinking about it, she's saying it out loud in wrong ways.
You know that the anchor would be the least detrimental of the three options, but
Okay,
the
then let's go
anchor
with that.
the anchor with the other two would cause bigger problems for the ship. The big
Okay,
two
so-
things would be the rudder and the sails.
Okay, so we
Destroying
can mess up
destroying
the rudder.
those would disable the ship.
We can mess up with the rudder, and how long would it take to fix that if they want to fix it? Is it a quick fix?
I mean, they'd have to if you destroyed the sail, they'd have to get new sails. If you destroyed the rudder line, they'd have to procure enough rope and re-rig it. Probably take about a week.
And we said we have 30 hours for this?
The
Well,
rope sounds
that's
like the way to go.
that's how long it would take for them to fix it. You just need to disable the ship.
I think we can disable the ship with the rope, with the rudder.
Yeah.
Because anchors means chains mean noise. Sails are extremely noticeable, but a rope out of the back to hold the rudder, not that noticeable.
Yeah.
They're not going to realize what's happening until it's time to steer the ship.
True. So rope?
So anybody, I mean, I would wager getting ourselves to the ship and getting visual confirmation on the layout would be our next step.
Dude, we can do that. So we're gonna go for the rudder then?
Or the,
Y'all have the means.
Well, why don't we tackle one thing at a time? Since we know that that's the three things we're thinking about, why don't we focus on trying to find the ship first? And then I guess when we get there, we can kind of see how things are looking, and we can go from there.
Everybody belly up to the bar and finish up your food and your ale, and we'll keep an eye on these crewmen and see where they go.
Everyone make a perception check for me.
With guidance.
Only one person gets guidance.
wow, that sucks.
Enjoying the food and ale.
That makes me feel better.
I'm sorry, perception.
Yeah, perception. Taddy, Silt, and Pearl, you guys are into your food and drink. It's been a while since you've had something of quality to eat or drink. So you're pretty focused on that. Odess and Gallon, you two are eating and drinking, but you're keeping the eye on the crew members, and they are throwing them back. They don't look like they're ready to leave anytime soon. And Gallon, you also notice a little bit of blood, like half dried off the corner of Pearl's lips.
I decide not to say anything at the moment.
Okay.
I'll keep that just hidden.
Otis is just gonna look over at Taddy and be like, "These guys can throw them back with the festival, can't they?"
You guys have been sitting there for about an hour watching them, and they look like they're there on shore leave, not there to get some food and go back to work.
I mean,
I got an idea.
but yeah,
Hold on, guys. I'm gonna walk over to the table. Wow, just let me move it. I didn't have to.
Yep, I had them unlocked on accident. I fixed it.
Okay. Excuse me, gentlemen.
Yeah. What do you want?
I know I've already bothered you once, and I hate to bother you again. I'm an eager beaver, and I'd like to prepare for, trying to join the crew tomorrow. Would it be possible for you to direct me towards the ship so I could take a look at it this evening before I talk to the captain? Captain?
Well, the rest of the crew is working on cargo, so you won't be able to actually inspect the ship, but it's parked off the marketplace. It's hard to miss. First, I forgot all my nautical terms. I had the word a second ago. Slip. It's off the first slip. You can't miss it.
I appreciate it, gentlemen, and enjoy your rest of your evening and your food and ale, and hopefully I will see you at work tomorrow.
Yeah. And he turns back gruntingly.
I turn and get back to the crew. All right, I know where the ship is. We can go take a look.
all right, let's do this.
DM, I just got a notice that everybody seems to sound funny in Twitch except for you. Something about echoey?
We all sound echoey?
That's the notice I'm getting.
That's on my end of things.
Okay.
Let me see. Maybe that'll fix it. Somebody say something and then have that person message you again.
Hi.
She's hearing, so I'm sure I'll get a message.
You can put, if that's Shenanigan doing the audio check, you can put it right in the message for the stream. I'll keep an eye on it. But all right, so it sounds like you guys are heading to the docks.
Awkward.
Yeah?
No.
Maybe if I turn this down. Okay. Heading back to the docks. We're going to use Pearl's token here. So you guys are up at the Rusty Anchor right now. And you make your way through to the gate, get your slip checked, and are allowed in. I already know you're going to say it, Taddy, so just go ahead and roll a sleight of hand check.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Oh, you filled up my screen with a map. Hold on. It'll wait 2 seconds and come back. My map is everywhere. 13.
Hold on, I thought I'd... Alright. Roll a d8 with disadvantage.
I hit the disadvantage button. It's Pull it
Oh,
out.
just roll it a second time then.
Double fours.
Yeah, you dropped that 4, man.
Ignore that second one. So you got 5 gold and another 4 gold, so 9 gold total. Passing through. You guys get into the marketplace and make your way over to the first slip, and sure enough, that first ship right there on the left is the Misty Mermaid. So the one right below Pearl's token. You can see some crew members moving cargo to and from. There's another turtle, 2 more of them bug types, like what you saw at the inn. Another kinku, and 2 lizard-looking creatures. The captain is nowhere to be seen.
Do we know anything about anything about goings on in Haven outside of our pit matches that we've been having for the past year?
Not of particular. You know that there's a festival coming up. It starts in like 2 days. But other than that, you don't know much of anything in terms of like environment or social goings on.
What about
Didn't you say they were unloading cargo?
Yeah, there's a small counterweight crane on the dock every so often, and they're using one of those to unload crates as well as load traveling supplies back on the ship. It's not a very bustling activity. It's more the crew up on the deck and the dock crew running the crane. Just kind of
exits we looking at? Planks off the back, off the rear, 2 off the side?
there's 1 plank joining the ship to the dock. It's wide enough for maybe 2 people to walk shoulder to shoulder. But that's it. That's the only way on or off the ship.
And there's crewmen on the dock.
Yeah, I mean, the dock is a bustle between dock workers and other ship. I mean, there's a lot of ships in port right now. So between dock workers and ship crews coming to and from, it's a fairly bustling place.
It's still daytime, right?
Yeah, it's a little afternoon right now.
What's our weather looking like?
It's clear. Little windy, but clear.
Ropes to the rudder. External, internal.
Internal.
So we gotta get into the ship.
Yep, it runs from the helm down through the deck, through the lower hull, and then out to the rudder.
Okay. But does it come... You say it comes out to the rudder.
So the rudder...
Simple portion.
The rudder isn't fully external. A portion of it is internal on the ship.
Okay.
So it runs to the internal portion, but the rudder is external.
Okay. Well, you can probably surmise what my
Yeah.
thought process was there. If we can sabotage it from the outside.
I mean, there's a possibility of it. It'll be a lot harder than if you were to get up to the helm and just sever the rope from there.
Okay.
ideally there has to be a hole for the rudder to come out, right? Right?
I wouldn't call it a hole, more of like an access port, but yeah. Like I said,
It's
like
an opening of
like I said, you could do it externally. It would just be a lot trickier than getting onto or into the ship and doing it. But it is a possibility.
Do we risk more than seeing us outside based on where they are right now with cargo, or
I am going to look at my group of fellow miscreants and say, I think I'd like a tour of this ship, and wink at them, and turn to the group of dock workers and sort of
Phil, if you'd like to have a tour of the ship, may I?
sashay over to them. Hey, fellas. Can I persuade you to give me a tour of your fine ship here? I've heard good things about this vessel.
The group of 3 humans look at you and, well, miss, we'd be happy to, but it's not our ship. You'd have to go up the plank and talk to one of the crew members.
Very well. So I will make my way up the plank.
Okay. As you're doing that, what's everybody else doing? Following or watching?
I'm watching.
I'm following.
Yeah, at this point, I think I'm going to hang back a little bit and watch.
I'm gonna follow.
Oh, you know what? Let me make this really easy.
Excellent.
Do it this way. Give me just a second here. I'm having visibility issues on my end. And Pearl was going to watch. There we go. And let me get these crew members up here. All right. As you approach up the gangplank, you hear a voice inside your head, Silt. Kind of a chittering noise. And stop! You weren't invited aboard. As one of the little bug folk comes bustling over to stop you.
Why, hello. I was just having a slight disagreement with my friends here over your vessel. I have been told that it is one of the finest vessels sailing the seas today, and they do not believe me. I know you are all quite busy here, I can see that, but is there any way I could convince you to give us a quick tour? So I can show them that you're wrong, that they are wrong.
You see him turn his head to the turtle, who then turns and walks in through the door there, disappearing into the cabin. And then he turns back to you and, wait a moment, we'll get the captain to see if he'd be interested in entertaining guests.
Thank you.
He stands and waits. A moment later, the turtle comes back with the captain in tow. The captain steps forward. I understand you are interested in my ship.
So I'm going to be a little bit quiet. My, aren't you just a handsome fellow? Yes, absolutely, I am. I have heard that it is the finest vessel on the seas, and my friends here do not believe me. I could not pass the opportunity to see if I could take a peek around and maybe show them how wrong they are.
At this point, I will say either deception or persuasion check.
Let's do it.
Well, my, words of our exploits must have traveled farther than I thought. I would be happy to show you and your friends around. There's not much to see, unfortunately, but we have big plans on expansion soon. Please, follow me.
I'm much obliged.
And that will take away the need for all of this. So he walks you through the ship, which I just opened up for you so you can see all of it now. I'm not going to move the tokens, but that midsection is the deck below the top deck. It's primarily where defense cannons are kept, and you can see the hammocks hanging from the support beams. This is where the crew takes turns sleeping, of course. And I think we lost Katie. Yep, sure did.
Oh no!
It's alright.
No!
We'll fill her in. It's alright. But on this middle deck here, this is where the crew sleeps, and when not sleeping, boister a defense against unsavories. And then takes you down to the lower deck here. In the front, it's all storage. And towards the front of the ship there, you can see the piles of rope. That is the anchoring. You can see that there is some chain work involved, but the chains are connected to the post by rope. And then he takes you through the back, more storage and the galley. And you can see on the very, very back of the ship.
While we're up there by the anchor,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna look at Syl and say, see, I told you they don't always use chains. I know she's not here.
Okay.
I know.
Well, I'm going to have to recap her, so if you want to save the dialogue for when she's back.
Yeah. Well, this is leading into why I'm about to do what I'm gonna do.
Okay.
See, I told you that these aren't all 100% chain, and I would like to walk up and grab a hold of a section of the rope that's got the anchor attached to the.
Okay.
And then I want to try and let it go, and then just stand there and just wait.
So you're just picking up the rope and then dropping it?
Yeah.
Little oopsie moment.
No, I'm waiting for Syl to get back.
Okay.
That's why I wanted to get all that out real quick, to be in position for when she gets back.
Yep, it says she just connected, so we're just waiting for her to get back in here.
I guess I'd like to ask the captain about their exploits out in the seas.
We are new-ish members to the Salvagers Guild. We go out and dive as deep as we can, harrowing the devilish creatures that occupy the waters, and collect whatever we can from the sunken cities. It's quite an industry for it if you have a knack for underwater engagements.
Well, I am a sea elf.
I noticed your lovely finned ears have been quite the detail to look at.
Thank you.
Well, Welcome back, Miss Katie.
And the guy I was flirting with is all on.
I'm gone for 5 seconds.
Okay, so we're on a tour of the ship.
Yep.
They showed us
Okay.
the mid area. That's where they sleep, and that's where they mount their attacks from.
Let me put the map back up for it. There we go. Midship here is where they sleep and defend the ship.
Okay.
The lower ship here, it's all storage in the front, and you can see the pile of ropes there, and that is, you can see coming out of the side of the ship is a chain, and that's what the anchor's connected to, but the chain itself is rigged to a mooring post by rope, like a lot of rope securing it, the actual anchor to the ship.
So I walked up to the rope. I picked it up and said, "See, Silt? I told you they don't use 100% chain on these anchors. There's no rope involved. I'm gonna set the rope down and I'm just gonna wait."
I'll look cross at being proven wrong.
Wow. The captain speaks up. You all really did have quite the argument about how ships work. Have none of you ever been aboard a vessel before?
Me? No.
My
Quite sheltered.
I prefer to swim to where I need to go.
understandable. The sea has its beauty for everybody in its own way. But let's continue the tour. The best is yet to come. He walks you through the back of the ship.
Now this is where the next part of my plan comes in.
Okay.
As they turn and start walking away, I want to try and sneakily pull out a dagger and cut that rope.
Dagger is a finesse weapon.
Good shot.
Make I'll have you make an insight check before you follow through on that. It is a lot of rope. And it's not one long section wrapped a bunch of times. It's multiple sections of rope. It would take you a minute to cut through all of it without something heavy doing the cutting.
Okay.
And you can very well still try.
Yeah. Well, let's. If I can do it without him realizing that I'm doing it, yeah.
Okay. Go ahead and make a sleight of hand check.
27.
Oh.
Nothing going on here. Just love this rope.
Yep.
Go ahead and roll a dagger attack and then the damage.
18. 2.
You get far enough through the first rope that you're pretty sure with a little tug it'll break, but there's still 5 or 6 sections you would have to go through to disable the anchor.
Hey. Does he notice that I'm still standing here?
No.
Okay. I want to try it one more time then.
Okay, go ahead.
19 for sleight of hand.
Okay. Go ahead and roll attack and damage.
Crit.
That's helpful.
Let's go.
Okay.
4. Seriously.
You've got now 3 of the 5 bindings to the point where a little bit of tension and they'll snap and give.
Good. I want to leave it right there.
Okay.
I'm thinking that if they try and drop that anchor, that rope's going to break.
Well, the anchor's down right now.
Oh, well, if they try and pull it up. If they put any tension on it, it's going to break.
Okay. So you're going to leave
So
it there?
Yeah, and catch up to the group.
Okay. Make, I'll call it make a stealth check while you're sneaking back up to make it look like you didn't go anywhere. Okay.
That was almost 4. I saw that.
Well, it would have been a 10, which still would have been enough because he only rolled a 3 on his perception. So, all right. Yeah, you're able to catch back up to the group right as they're hitting the galley, and he kind of starts showing you guys how they keep and make the food and all the barrels of ale and water that they have, because they go out for a month or so at a time, so they take a lot of supplies with them. Everybody make a perception check for me.
Everybody or everybody?
Everybody on the ship.
17.
Pearl, you're not on the ship. I need it from Silt.
I'm not there.
Aaron's like, I just got roll dice.
There you go. All 3 of you notice behind this stack of barrels right here where I put the arrow, you see a really thick rope, probably about 3 times the thickness of a standard sailing rope, coming down out of the ceiling through the floor, and there's like 2 of them perfectly parallel to each other, about a foot apart.
Captain, can I ask a question?
Of course. What can I help you with, my friend?
The ropes at the back of the ship there, are those another anchor?
Oh, no, the ship only comes with 1 anchor, unfortunately. That would be our rudder line. It runs from the helm through some nifty pulleys between the decks and all the way down to the rudder, and that's how we steer the ship.
See, I told you they had nifty pulleys.
Yeah, but you said that they use
I
chain
think
on
I even used
everything.
the term nifty.
I need both of you to make a deception check for me. Or no, not deception, performance.
I can't see what I'm rolling. Hope it's good.
You rolled a 17. That's not bad.
I got a 14.
He kind of looks at you guys side-eyed and goes, yes. Well, I don't know of anybody who uses chain. Chain weighs significantly more than rope. Perhaps we should head back up to the top deck and carry on with the tour to conclude. And he ushers you all up the stairs back up to the deck. Last bit to show you, of course, is the captain's quarters. And he opens the door, and as you go to enter the room, he like puts his arm out and goes to bar your entry. He's like, unfortunately, trade secrets lie within. I can't allow you to enter, but you may glance from here.
I wanna scan the whole room and the lock on the door. I wanna get as much information out as I can.
Okay, perception check.
Perception or investigation?
Either or.
23.
Okay. There's no lock on the door. The room seems pretty standard. There's some bookshelves with some miscellaneous items and some books on it. Couple pieces of weaponry and clothing. The table and floor area, there's, knocked over bottles, mugs of who knows what, couple of maps. And then there's a bedroll. Really standard and basic, and no bed frame to go with it. And then one small chest at the foot of the bedroll. Sorry, I got the hiccups there.
Oh, you're okay. This is your quarters, Captain?
Yes, this would be the captain's galley, of course. And he shuts the door as he finishes the sentence.
Oh, I was going to flirtatiously look at him and say, so this is where you keep the booty, huh? Wink.
Of course it is, my dear. Perhaps If you come back tonight, I could show you just how well I store it.
I guess you were right, Phil. Not all captains have a decked out captain's quarters. I expected to see all kinds of extravagant artwork or gold pieces in there, but
as I mentioned earlier, we are just getting going and we have rooms for expansion and, some more luxuries aboard.
if you don't keep all your extravagant booty in your captain's quarters, where would one keep it then?
Oh, who
Make-
cares about that? Let's go.
Well, no, because you.
And I walk off.
Still, but seriously, as I start to follow Sil, I still believe that captain quarters should be all extravagant and have all kinds of good riches. I'm kind of curious.
As Silt and Taddy are...
You can clearly tell that this is a captain of. He's humble in nature. He's just very humble.
As Silt and Taddy walk away, the captain kind of edges up to you, Gallon, and strokes a finger down your tricep and goes, "Not all secrets can be revealed on the first encounter. But unfortunately, I have work I must attend to. I do appreciate your interest in the vessel, and the offer for tonight stands, but I must ask you all to disembark at this time."
And where should I meet you? If I was so inclined to see you later this evening.
Just make your way up the gangplank, and my spotter will send for me.
Wonderful. And then I walk off, casually.
All right, you guys are all back down on the deck now.
I went out to flirt with him when you were away.
It just kind of happened while you were disconnected there, Katie. Sorry.
That's good. I like it. It works.
I picked up the vibe you were throwing down.
When the cat's away, the mice do play.
Indeed.
All right, but you guys are back on the dock now. Moved a little way away from the ship.
As we get back to Brennan.
You guys all
I'm a
catch...
little excited over what I did in there, by the way.
You all catch a little whiff of freshly baked brownies as you walk away from the deck, or from the ship.
There's smell again.
I just want to know, because this is the second time we've smelled these brownies, y'all. Like, it smells real good.
Did
You
you
should go get some.
make an insight check? See if you can figure out where they're coming from. Anybody who wants to.
And more particularly, are they a special kind of brownie? Naya?
Damn.
That'd be the only one that I rolled a whole game.
Find the brownies.
To find the brownies.
Pearl, seemingly uninterested with chocolate pastry goods, doesn't really pay much attention to it. Everybody else kind of like, on the mention of Gallon mentioning brownies and we should get some, everybody kind of starts sniffing the air, trying to figure out where it's coming from. And Gallon and Otis, you both realize it's coming from Taddy, sorry.
I'm sorry. Taddy's been holding out on us. I mean, he's been sharing his money for sandwiches and ale, but like, you got brownies, bro?
I got what?
Do the whole kind of side-eye look at him.
Yeah, sideways looking up like, you got brownies?
The curious
You
puppy.
hold him out?
I don't think so. And I grab my bag and kind of open it and start looking in my backpack. No, I don't have no brownies. There's no brownies in here.
You guys watch him dig through his bag, and he doesn't have any brownies.
Well, Taddy, that smell's definitely coming from you.
Okay. I'll take your word for that.
He could smell worse.
That's true.
Smell good.
There are definitely worse smells that party members can emit while traveling together.
Well, I mean, besides y'all accusing me of brownies, that sounds really good that I don't have. I will say that one task has been checked off. This ship has now been sabotaged. I took care of the anchors.
Done.
We're supposed to do all four
So
of them?
I did clarify, and I'm sorry if I wasn't clear when Pearl was talking to herself earlier. Disabling the rudder or the anchor itself wouldn't disable the ship, but that in conjunction with one of the other two definitely would.
Well, Daddy's full of himself, so.
Got it half done, my man.
I just don't want something I said screwing you guys in the long run, so I'm clarifying for you.
Appreciate it.
Fair enough. But yeah, this once this ship takes off, it won't be stopping anytime soon, I think. If it takes off.
What about the rudder and the sails?
Do I gotta do everything? And I start to walk.
What were you two doing while we were inside?
Fair question.
Probably praying or something stupid.
Why are you hating so much on Poseidon?
Don't hate Poseidon. It's
Just hey, anything to do with water.
Forever.
Is it
a bit overboard.
Alright, well, it's,
As you guys are walking away, you hear from behind you, madam, and you all turn back to see the turtle coming up the deck. He walks up to Gallon and hands you a piece of parchment. He goes, here's from the captain. He wanted me to deliver it. Something he forgot about, but, you know, he's a busy man, so... Here.
Well, thank you. Thank you, kind sir.
You're welcome. I gotta get back to work.
And I would like to open up the paper and see what it says.
As you open up the paper, you catch a whiff of cologne. Not a bad smelling, but definitely a little extra. And
Great!
not brownies, cologne of some sort. But the letter, just simply written in common, says, I look forward to our rendezvous and showing you where the booty goes tonight. And if it's not too forward, feel free to bring your feline friend with you.
That's fantastic. Guys, we have an invitation. Well, some of us have an invitation back here tonight. I informed the crew of what the note says in the cologne. That is not brownies.
I assume you guys are farther from the ship at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Walk and talk, please.
Okay.
keep walking.
The map is only so big. So yes, you guys keep walking while you're talking.
Well, let's just put the rest of the walk in our minds and do the by our
Okay.
imagination.
Where are you guys heading currently?
Away from the ship, that's all I know.
Okay, so just into the market area, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where's looking casual?
Go ahead and continue your talk then.
So,
Oh, yeah, sorry. Forming of the note.
well, that sounds like our opening for
I'm
naming the captain.
Well, yeah, but we're gonna have to get on the ship. Only the two of them can get on there.
Well,
we
I
can't handle it.
I think I can get at least one, maybe two of us down into the galleys. We're going to need a heavy hitter to handle that rope for the rudders.
I think Silt and I can probably keep the captain distracted, and then complete task number 3 to give him a message during our little rendezvous ménage à trois.
But honestly, I didn't see much as far as valuables to take. I mean, there was a chest in the captain's quarters, and whatever they got in the cargo hold, I don't know. I mean, it was a bunch of crates, and I wasn't going to stop and open the crates. I guess we could have asked what was in them, but then we'd have to get crates out. I mean, I was kind of hoping that, you know, he'd have some type of, like, I don't know, paintings or old statues or something in his captain's quarters, but that dude's fucking broke.
I mean, I think at this point, like, we have seen the captain's quarters. Should we assume that it's not even kept here? Should we assume that they're also possibly taking them off the cargo as we saw today, and that was the treasure and they're putting it somewhere else?
There's an idea. I don't know. Maybe we should try and decipher if this ship does have somewhere else it goes. I mean, my worldly knowledge is this is the only land available, but they are divers. It's possible they might have a ship off the shore somewhere that they've been stashing things.
Who knows how to dive?
Maybe.
Anybody with a swim speed would have quote-unquote diving capabilities. The only question beyond that is how long that person can hold their breath for.
I mean, I'm sure we can make something happen if we needed to dive for it.
I think that will be our second plan if we don't find anything aboard.
I
Maybe it's
mean,
hidden somewhere.
you gals, when you have your visit tonight, could try and pry it out of him where he keeps his valuables.
Yeah, but isn't that going to be kind of late? They leave in the morning.
No, they leave later in the day tomorrow.
They leave later in the day. The captain goes ashore for breakfast on the day of departure.
Right. So it sounds like we may need to accomplish these goals tonight.
I mean, they didn't have a list of anything that they were carrying or anything in the cargo or anything like that?
But he didn't mention anything in the tour, and we didn't think to ask. I mean, I was preoccupied looking for openings to sabotage the ship.
I mean, frankly, he seemed like he was in a real rush to get us off the ship at the end of the day.
What about our dock guys? Would they know what's in the boxes?
Probably not. They're just loaders and unloaders. The only ones who would really know what would be in the crates would be who sent them and who's receiving them.
Maybe we can go try to find some of the crates they were unloading and see if they were unloading anything that was worthwhile. I mean, wasn't that the whole premise in the first place? Was they supposed to give the money, some of the money to our
Yeah. Yeah, but the three of us who just came off of that ship, it's going to look really suspicious if we go back, asking more questions.
We could always try the hey, do you need a cleric of Poseidon route?
I mean, if that's what you guys want to do.
Could come in handy on the high seas. They might need something like that.
Yeah,
That would at least get you on the ship.
yeah.
And that might actually give you free reign to go downstairs and take a look at that rudder rope.
Yeah. We can do that, or we can come back tonight and try and get them tonight? What would you guys like to try?
Well,
I'm good either way.
how about you go?
How about
Where
when
you
Colin
What?
and how about when Gall and Slick go inside as a distraction?
I was just thinking that.
We can try to snoop around and see what we can find out.
Well, I think having you on the ship in case shit goes awry with our plans tonight is as valuable as you being able to sneak around and try and figure things out. How good are you at dealing with people? That's on the tabletop, over the tabletop, or out of character. I'm trying to ask how well is your deception slash
My persuasion?
persuasion? Yeah.
It's good. Not amazing, but it's good. Could be worse.
Well, it's not negative. That helps.
I'm
Only positive.
I'm pretty good with people. How about we go back? I go back with you guys and see if I can't talk you guys onto that ship.
I mean, you're doing work for him, right?
No, as far as they know, I'm just some guy who was interested in the ship and was having an argument with Silt.
Alright, huh?
But I think I could probably play it off as I noticed that they didn't have a cleric on board.
And I'm just saying, it's pretty typical with the clerics that they offer up a offering to Poseidon beforehand.
Well, I mean, if you want to try to go alone.
No, what I'm saying is we don't know what riches they have, right?
Right.
So usually it's tradition that the cleric of Poseidon would offer up an offering to Poseidon in order to have safe travels, per se.
Okay.
If that makes sense. It might be one way of us to learn what riches they might have.
True.
Well,
I like this plan.
at this point, I'm pretty sure we're like mid-market because we've been walking as we were talking.
Yeah, you're into the market.
So let's just stop here and. Okay, well, I think we've gotten far enough away from the ship that you could probably head back and get yourself onto the ship, get that information, and maybe get yourself planted on it, because it looks like we're not together at this point when you go back, so.
Did they notice us in the first place when we were there?
Don't know, but it wouldn't matter because
Well, the turtle would have definitely seen all of you together.
All of us?
Yeah, because the five of you were walking together when the turtle came up to give Galen the note.
yeah.
So he would have seen you all together. But as far as if anybody else did, you have no idea.
I don't think the rest did.
Here's my thought. If they go back tonight and say, hey, they're going to go meet up with the captain or whatever, right? It'd be too easy for me to just walk on and say, hey, I'm your cleric, I'm here to do your blessing, I'm here to make sure you guys have safe travels, right? As long as it looks like you're supposed to be there, usually people don't ask questions, right?
Yeah, but you don't know, we don't know if they already have a cleric on board. That's why you go in and trying to get into the position of ship cleric. Because if you go there and say, well, I'm here for blessings, they go, oh, we got a cleric already. well, there goes that idea out right off the water. But if we can get you a position on the boat as they're cleared, then that takes away all doubt of whether or not you should be there or not.
But if they don't,
Well, we have to find another route.
Another route. I have another idea for
But it's gonna blow any kind of. It will blow any kind of sneaking options of getting you on the ship if you go there talking to them and it fails. Because you come back at night, they're gonna automatically recognize you from this afternoon.
that's if they see you.
Well, we're worried about you, not me.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's what I'm saying. That's if they see you. Yeah.
A lot of what ifs, man. A lot of what ifs.
Yeah. Flip a coin.
Okay.
No, we don't need to flip a coin. Do you want to go try and get yourself on that ship or not?
Yeah, fuck it, why not? We talked about it enough, fuck it, why not?
Alright.
Are you going back right now, or are you waiting until nighttime?
I'll wait till like early evening, not necessarily nighttime, but early evening.
Okay. So not quite when the girls are going.
Yeah.
A little bit before that.
Yep.
And it's just you going?
I mean, I'm the only cleric that I know of.
I have an idea, Sil.
Yes.
The crew at the inn. If I go asking them more questions, it's going to look funny. But you handled yourself pretty well on that ship. Do you think you could talk some information out of those guys to see if they know anything about the cargo?
That might be able to be arranged.
Then I say we head back to the inn and see if we can discover a little bit more.
You might have to lend me some money for drinks.
Ah, don't worry about that. We'll find more on the way, I'm sure.
Not for me, for them.
Sure. So, after that, I say we start heading back to the inn, and you know what I'm going to do on the way back to the inn, boss.
Yep, go ahead and roll for it. Pull up my little table here. Alright, roll a d8. You snatch a lapis lazuli worth 10 gold.
Lapis lazuli.
It's a blue gemstone.
Okay.
Common.
That didn't help much, but okay. I'm just going to put a blue gemstone.
Yep, and just put the value next to it. Just 10 gold is what it's worth.
Okay.
That's
And
it.
Taboo is in Twitch, saying audio is still echoey.
Yeah, I can't
Check
mess with
on
it
my
too
end,
much.
Not over here, but other than that,
So you guys are heading back to the Rusty Anchor to try and bribe via drink some information from the goblins, yeah?
sure.
Okay. Coming up on dinner time, you guys make it back to the Rusty Anchor. The goblins, Kenku, Turtle, and Thrykeen is still sitting there drinking.
I dropped 15 gold into Silt's hand and say, just try not to spend it all.
Very well. Okay. I'll go
And
over to their table.
I'd like to position myself at a table away from what's going on.
I sent you a message, Katie, as an option. So ordering a round of drinks. Is anybody going over there with her?
I am not.
I can go.
I'm gonna hang back by the bar and kind of just make sure everyone's good to go. Kind of watching everyone's backs.
Okay.
Is there,
There's nothing you gotta click for that if you're gonna do that.
is there a powder room in this place?
No, there's an alley.
I gotta pee, guys. I'll be back.
Okay.
You
Go to the alley.
Are you doing the thing, Katie? Yeah. Okay. Which one are you looking like?
I think. Let's see. Who's pretty? The ugly. Are these goblins?
Yeah. There's 4 goblins at the table, there's a tortillon, there's the bug guy, and then there's a...
Yeah, the only goblins you've seen are the ones currently at the Rusty Anchor. If you were gonna
Okay, so they're
do one of the ones off the ship, make an insight check. Oof. You know you can't communicate telepathically like the bug people. But you're not sure about the lizard folk or the Kenku. The only other 2 you heard talk were the turtle and the captain himself.
okay.
So one of those 2 is probably your best bet.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the turtle that gave Gallon a note.
Okay. So you do that and make your way back. Everybody else, you notice the turtle from the ship walk in and walk over to you. Gets about halfway to you, and the other crew members notice him and, "Hey, Rex, we're over here."
Well, hey, fellas. I'll go over there.
Make a deception check to see if you can. Deception check to see if you can get your voice to sound like him.
Oof. Good thing it's loud in here.
They give it a second here. Too many things going on. Most of them don't pay any notice to you, but you hear in your head, so you know it's coming from the Thrykeen, the bug folk person. You go, you sick, Rex? You don't sound okay.
So, yeah, I'm just gonna...
Sound kind of
Does it
squeaky.
telepathy go both ways, or is it...
No, it's a one-way telepathy. You got to speak out loud.
So I'm gonna say in, like, the same voice, but still, mimicking the turtle that I heard speak as much as I can. So great, that's why I'm here, to get a a drink to settle my nerves and my stomach.
Okay, make a persuasion check. That sounds about right. Well, pull on up as he pushes the goblin over a little bit to make room for you to ease up to the table. So, Rex, how goes the ship work?
Oh, so slow. There's just so few of us. To get it all done.
Yeah, well, if there were any more, we wouldn't be here drinking, right, boys? Ah! And they all cheer up and take big swigs out of their mugs.
I'm gonna, motion the waiter over at the same time so that I can actually get my drink.
Yeah, a small, busty half-elf comes over and takes your order and bustles off to the bar, comes back a second later, and that'll be 2 silver pieces, madam. Or sir.
I'll flip on the gold and say, anybody else need anything?
They all look at you and look at their mugs and, like, chug them down really quick and slide them down and be like, yeah.
Okay, I'll get another gold out. Yeah, 2.
A full round coming right up, dearie. She comes back a moment later with the round and sets a couple silver pieces down as change, which would be math. 4 silver down would be the change.
I'll swipe that real quick.
Anything else? Any food?
Not for me right now. No.
She scuttles off to the next guest.
So, you think we're gonna get this done while we're here?
Oh, we're already getting it done. Hey! They all cheers and take another big swig.
Boy, I guess I got some catching up to do with you guys. Ooh, take a big swig of mine.
Yeah, you're 7 or 8 behind right now, pipes up one of the smaller goblins.
So much to do, so much to do.
Alright, I'm going to lose the voice play for this part because I am not a voice actor and I can't do 7 different voices conversationally. So I'm just going to talk like me, but I'll tell you who's saying what.
Alright. Do any of these look more intelligent or shifty, you know what I mean, than any of the other ones, maybe less?
Make a perception, no, insight check. And we'll do this since you're changed. What are you looking for particularly?
Just to see if anybody is a little more like cognizant of what's going on, or not of myself, but just in general.
Are you talking like in terms of intoxication or in terms of just general intelligence?
Both.
It would be between the Tortle and the Kenku. They seem the more reserved out of the group.
Okay. So I'm gonna sort of lean toward the Kenku a little bit, not too much. I don't wanna have this goblin touching me or anything. I'm gonna look at him and say, hey, you know what I heard? I heard the captain's having company tonight.
The goblin's ears definitely perk up because you're talking through him, so he can definitely hear the conversation. He just kind of looks at you, and the Kenku goes, well, that's definitely the captain's prerogative. It's his ship after all. It's not like one of us hasn't been known to bring a fellow ship aboard from time to time.
She's quite the looker.
Oh, you got to see her. Do tell.
Don't look now. But behind me. See that group over at the bar?
The second you say "don't look now" behind me, both the goblin and the Kenku like stand up and look over in that direction, over at everybody standing at the bar.
I go. Yep, those.
What? There's a lot over there. Which one is she?
Blue-haired one.
Oh, not really my taste, but tieflings are definitely into it. And you glance over your shoulder and you can see like 3 people down from Gallon is a blue-haired tiefling posted up with her back to the bar, letting it strut out.
Shake my head again. And go, well, you know what I think? I think, personally, she's a gold digger.
Well, what makes you think that?
She just had this look in her eye. You know what I mean?
I will say, make a persuasion check.
It's not untrue.
That's why I said persuasion. Because you all were there with a look in your eye.
I'm working on it. Come on. There it is. Let's see what it is.
No.
No, it didn't come through for us.
Oh, it did?
No.
That's right.
There it goes. Well, Rex, you're the lookout. You know, you've got a better eye than anybody else on the ship. If you say it, then it must be true. What should we do about it? I mean, obviously the captain won't listen. You know how he is with his women. And once he's got his sights, that's all he can think about.
Do you think the cargo's safe?
Oh, I'm sure the storage place is good. I mean, I haven't checked it recently myself, but it's got to be safe, right? We put so much work into building that secret holding area in the bottom deck.
No. When we were doing it, I wasn't feeling that great. Now I question whether it's probably fine. It's probably fine. You're probably right.
I mean, hell, the ship looks a little worn in general, so tearing up the board and putting it down, we didn't have to make it look perfect. It just adds to the wornness. It's gotta be okay. It's man, you got me worried about it now. I might need another drink to settle my nerves. And he like holds his mug out and kind of shakes it a little bit.
Please. And I'll put it on the table and I'll say, yes, that's probably a good idea. And you know what I think? I'm gonna go check.
That's probably a good idea. You know, why don't you put down for another round and we'll keep the table warm. And as soon as you go check, you come back and let us know if we need to get back to the ship to keep it safe or not.
That sounds good. 2 gold pieces on the table.
Okay.
And shuffle on out of the bar.
That was weird.
Did you say it was on the bottom deck?
Yeah,
Okay.
the bottom hold, the lowest hold, was, I don't know the nautical term for it, but that's what he would have referred to. So you're out of the bar. What are you doing?
I'm going to change back to my own lovely self. Walk back in the bar, adjusting my armor. Walk up to my group of people. Oh, I'm sorry, guys, that took a little bit longer than I thought. And so hand Taddy back. I forget how many he gave me to begin with.
15.
Back.
And you spend
Okay, so
4 minus 2 minus 4 silver, so you'd have 11 gold and 4 silver to give back.
I'm gonna give him back 11 gold.
That was an expensive bathroom break.
Yeah, it was. Only the best for me.
Only the finest kitty litter. Did you bring enough for the entire class, Brad?
What was that?
Did you bring enough for the entire class?
We're almost affected. There's always enough for the entire class.
Okay, just making sure.
Okay, so, well, you couldn't go get us some information, or what?
I got information. I think Lynn and I should get ready for our date tonight. Maybe I'll go visit the market.
I will go with salt, and we come up with a plan.
Let's go, guys.
Question. I assume we're all walking towards the market?
You guys tell me.
If you want to.
I mean, I thought Otis was gonna go try and get on the ship.
I mean, yeah, I was gonna go back and see if they needed cleric, but I was doing that like towards the evening time, which I think we're getting about that time.
A couple hours
Yeah.
out still, but yeah.
It'd be kind of one of those things, right at the end of the day, people kind of tired,
Okay. So yeah, I guess we're all gonna start heading in that direction because
Okay.
gotta be getting in that vicinity. Well, I mean,
Could we borrow some money for whatever she wants to look pretty and maybe a bell or a bow or something that I could wear?
I'll add it to the job expense. Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
I'll hand her. Hell, just give her the 11 back. I don't know what things cost around here anymore, so.
We don't either.
Okay.
I'm just fun by the seat of my pants.
So you guys all make your way back over to the market area. You're indicated by Pearl's token, staying as a group for the time being. Go ahead and make your roll, Taddy.
Thank you. I'm glad we got that under control.
I'm so glad that y'all just can read minds and just know what they're gonna do next.
Yeah.
Oh.
Makes it easier.
Well, I built a table to roll on too, so it makes life a lot easier for me. Than...
27.
All right, roll a d8.
2. What's up with the 2s on this?
Don't know. But you get a pinkish stone worth 10 gold pieces.
Okay.
I like that. A little jewelry store.
It's a masagate.
It's a big stone.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I like that. Okay, so I
stones.
we should find ourselves some pretty stuff to wear now.
Yeah, sounds good.
Specific about it, but
Okay. So you guys are looking for clothes specifically?
I don't want to take my armor off, so I'm just looking for some, flash.
Agreed.
Okay.
Agreed.
So like flowers for your hair or
Yeah,
And shit like
flowers
that.
and maybe a pretty necklace or bracelet or something.
okay. I mean it's too easy to find bracelets and necklaces and such. Flowers are a little bit harder. You do eventually find a vendor. They are not cheap. Talking like 5 gold per piece of per little flower arrangement. Any like bracelets, jewelry, whatnot, you can find something that looks nice and is cheap for 4 silver a piece.
Okay, we'll get a couple of pieces each jewelry.
You guys can just add the item jewelry. Just create an item in your inventory, put jewelry, and then in parentheses put for SP, and then mark down how many you buy for each of you. I can probably do it quicker. I'm working on yours, Becca. You don't have to worry about it.
Okay.
Let's say, how does a set of necklace, bracelet, and earrings sound to you, Galen?
That sounds exactly like what we would need
Okay.
to entice the captain.
So that's that. And I got yours going right now, so... So when you guys look at this later, it'll just say jewelry because there's nothing really special about them. And then in parentheses, the 4 silver pieces, just to remind us how much you spent on each item. And then you've got 3 of each. And those are in your inventories and all set. Anything else you wanted to do, look for, anything like that?
Is there a place where we can get, I don't know, like a spells, truth serum? So we need a plan.
Yeah, that was my next question, was what the final plan is going to be. I know Odess was going to try and talk his way on as a cleric prior to you girls showing up for your date. And then you two were going to show up and handle the captain.
Maybe we should we...
I don't know if I'm missing a part of the plan where somebody gets on and takes care of disabling the rest of the ship.
We need to sit down and talk right now because I have information that
Yep,
nobody
and
else
there's
does,
that
so
too.
It was nice.
So you guys find a little seating area and sit and talk.
So I think the plan was that the other 3 of us were going to be investigating while the girls are distracting the captain.
Well,
Were
I know
you
where
3 gonna
the-
sneak onto the ship? I know that option got thrown out there. I didn't know if you ever decided you were going to.
Well, I mean, at this point, I'm thinking there's... If Silt is going to relay the information that she got,
Yes.
okay, Okay, armed with that knowledge, I would suggest we stick with the plan of the girls going and meeting with the captain. The way that he was drooling over you two, I would wager he's going to take you into his private captain's quarters.
I think that's always a good bet.
That would probably be the ideal place for you guys to put some hurting on him as a message from the horde.
I mean, that was kind of my strategy.
Yeah, physical to relay the physical message. Armed with the knowledge that there is a hidden storage stash down in the bowels of the ship. We also know that the ropes for the rudders are back there as well. So I think we continue with the plan of getting Otis onto the ship as a cleric. Maybe try and pass myself and Pearl off as his
Entourage.
Or I'm thinking about other words besides entourage. I'm sorry. I don't necessarily think we could pass off as guards. Well, Pearl maybe, but I don't think I could pass off as a guard. So maybe one entourage and one guard for said player. That way we can move on the ship with him, and with him having permission to be on the ship, get down into the bowels and try and find this hidden stash and take care of the rest of the rudder plans that we had. And that would complete the goals. You girls are handling the physical message. I'm handling the getting into the vault, because as long as it's not magically locked, I think I can get in there. And between Pearl and Otis's home, I'm sure they could probably dislodge that rudder rope, guide, whatever you want to call it. And that's
Somebody have
1, 2, 3.
fire they like to use, because you could just set the sail on fire after we're all off the ship.
Yeah, but you run the risk of actually fully damaging the ship with that.
I mean, I got some oil and tinder. I
But
can
remember,
put it on fire and go.
He said he only wanted us to disable the ship, not fully damage it.
Yeah.
Not destroy it.
Thank you, sorry.
Destroy would mean like sink in this case.
Yeah, but if we light the sails on fire and it doesn't get put out fast enough, it could potentially.
It is an option. It's also a valid option to think about, that people are around. Somebody would notice the fire.
Which would also draw a lot of attention.
Yeah.
And then it's escape.
So trade-offs.
Yeah. So I say we just stick with the three of us going for the rudders and the two of you going for physical message. And we'll swing by and try and grab some loot while we're down there getting the rudders.
And the loot sounds like a caddy job.
Hey, yeah, but they're in the same place.
True.
So if we all go together.
Start calling you Sticky Fingers Caddy.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Deception check. No.
And I turn to look at the girls and go, and my pimp hand is way strong, you women.
Okay, brownie boy.
Hey, I'm passing out the money, sending you in. Just saying.
Okay. So the plan, as I understand it, is Odess, Pearl, and Taddy are going to arrive at the ship shortly before Silt and Gallon do, and try to talk the way on as representatives of Poseidon. Are you trying to persuade for a position on the ship, or are you just trying to bestow blessing upon the ship? Just so I understand.
I say we stick with trying to get a position on the ship, and if that fails, we'll fall back to at least giving them
Okay.
a blessing.
Okay.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Not a problem. And then while you guys are on the ship, assuming you get on the ship, the girls are going to show up and they're going to deal with the captain themselves.
Yep.
Okay. Sounds good. Anything else you guys want to take care of before this kicks off?
Yes, I'd like to buy some rope.
Do we already have some in our bags?
You should.
I think so.
I used all of my rope.
You have 50 feet of hempen rope in your backpack right now.
So, out of character, real quick, Mike, Pam and I are going to deal with the rudders, right? While you go for the.
Well,
I mean, ideally, that's kind of what we were going for.
yes and no. Yes, in the aspect of you handling that, me handling the yes. But before we can get to that point, we still have to figure out where the hidden stash is, because we didn't pinpoint. We just know it's in the bowels of the ship. So if I can get an extra set of eyes or two to help me figure out where the hell it is before we split up, that would help.
The only reason I ask is if Pam and I are going to deal with the rudders and that's the rope, there's some other things we have to discuss, well, at least on my end, that we'll have to discuss prior to going. But that's out of character, so.
Yeah.
Well, now
That was-
right now would be the time to do that.
Yes.
Okay. So in character, Otis would relay he doesn't have anything to cut the rope with, if that makes sense.
I mean,
So if somebody could lend him a dagger or something.
that's why we're bringing Pearl. What kind of weaponry does Pearl have? We know she's got the.
That's a good question. I don't know.
Taddy, you would have noticed a bunch of dagger-like knives in the galley as well.
Oh yeah, I mean the galley down there has chefs and knives and all kinds of little. So there's certain things down there, but
As long as there's something, if that makes sense.
Pearl, are you carrying anything other than that trident?
Yeah, my gun.
Oh, that'd be a little noisy.
What was that?
Well,
But it's got a silencer, and you see her just like shove the end into her backpack.
Quiet at times.
No,
Little bit.
the gun is definitely not quiet.
She's being sarcastic, guys. Oh my god.
I did, out of game, I just had an interesting thought. If you could get like a ring of silence, like a ring for the silence spell, and have an artificer like welded onto the barrel of your gun, it would work like a silencer though.
That sounds sick.
Sorry, back in game, just
Love it.
random thoughts. That goes back to the meme I saw about a ring of enlargement that got fastened into the barrel of a gun. So every time they shot a bullet, it blew up to like the size of a cannonball. Random thoughts. Yay, and
Otis, how good are you with the rapier?
With the rapier?
it's a finesse weapon, so it would be based on your dexterity.
Probably not too good with that. I'm not horrible with it, but I'm also not good.
You do hold proficiency with it, you just wouldn't get any bonuses to attack or damage.
Out of character, where do you see that? Oh, never mind.
So, at the bottom of your abilities under proficiencies, I don't remember if it's a martial or a simple weapon, but you've got
This
both.
is a martial.
Okay, you're proficient in both either way. So you wouldn't be at any disadvantage to use the weapon, but because it's a finesse weapon, it uses your dexterity instead of your strength.
Yeah.
So like with
So,
your
and-
with your trident, you get a +4 to hit and then a +2 for the damage. It would be a +2 to hit and no plus on the damage. It would be like using your crossbow. You'd get the proficiency to hit, so you'd get a plus. You'd get a +2 to hit because you're proficient with it, but you wouldn't get any plus on the damage because you don't have a dexterity modifier.
That makes total sense. So yeah, again, I'm okay with it, but I'm not.
Okay, how about Pearl?
I
Are
mean,
you any good with rapiers, Pearl?
You would be better than Odes.
Maybe.
Okay, well, I just checked my inventory. I'm actually carrying 2 rapiers.
How do you
I'm
have
gonna
2?
drop. Because I thought it looked cool to carry 2.
Oh, okay.
You approved it.
Did I? I might have overlooked it, is what happened there.
So what I'm gonna do is I just put one of my rapiers in the party sheet. If you want to pick that up, Pearl,
Yes.
that'll give you a sharp instrument.
You remember how to do that, Pam?
Yeah.
Okay.
For those who doesn't, you want to give us a walkthrough on that, DM?
In the top right corner of Fantasy Grounds, under Tool, next to the combat tracker, you'll see a party sheet option.
Okay.
If you click that, it'll give you a pop-up. And it'll be on the main tab. Well, I don't know what it looks like from your guys' end, but on the right-hand side, there's an inventory tab. And if you click that, that is the party inventory. So right now, there'll be a rapier in it. And that's how you guys can transfer stuff between yourselves. Or, like in the event at the end of a battle, if there's a bunch of loot, that's where I would put the loot, and then you guys can take it from there. As well as it makes it easy for, if like you find 500 gold at the end of a fight and you decide to split it evenly, I can put it here, click a button, and it'll distribute it evenly amongst all of you.
If y'all find 500 gold.
Yeah.
Cool.
There you go.
All right, thank you.
And that should put that weapon immediately on your actions tab, Pam. Yep, it's already there.
So yeah, so I mean that'll give you something sharp to cut that rope with, and when you're done, if there's anything left of it, I'd like to get it back. But
Thank you.
oh, you're welcome. Hey, whatever we gotta do to get the job done, right?
Yep.
All right. So that gives them something sharp to cut with. That gives us the game plan on what everybody's doing, exactly how we're doing it. Well, at least
Katie had one last thing she wanted to do before we kick it off. What was that thing?
What was what?
I asked if there was anything else anybody wanted to do before we kicked this off, and you started talking.
Well, I do want to talk to Silt about what our strategy is. Are we going in coy, flirtatious, and then gonna tie to them in like a seductive way? Or are we gonna come in and be like, hey, we're gonna kind of tipsy, like here's a bottle, drink out of it, and then it's drugged? I mean, there's options.
drugs.
You don't have any of that in your city?
If you were gonna drug him, you would need to procure said drugs, which wouldn't be impossible, but there may
We
be
are in a market.
there may be a cost associated with it.
It just depends on who and I think that we could take on forcefully a drow, whatever it is, drow.
Well,
I mean, getting them drunk would be a good plan.
getting them drunk, tying them up for play. Just beat them up a little bit.
Cool. Alright, if that's the plan, I'm down. I just wanted to know. We just needed an option to go in there. Because that we do need to procure some booze.
Yeah, easy enough. 2 gold would get you 4 bottles to take with you.
Let's do it.
4 bottles of the good stuff, the
Alright.
riggedy wreck you stuff.
Yeah.
Love it. Good old snake juice.
And do you guys, you girls, the women, happen to have some form of cloth or something to use as a gag in case it's necessary?
Probably gonna be necessary, and just some clothes.
I
But
put
guess that's what I'm wearing.
I put 4 bottles of rum valued at 5 silver each in your inventory, Becca.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
You gotta
he has a low tolerance, and
That's why they're taking more bottles.
oh, that's just Thursday night.
And this is just what you guys are bringing with you. I mean, you who went on the ship, you guys all saw they have barrels of shit. Presumably, some of it is alcohol.
So I guess we do need some cloth. I don't know if it's gonna like tailor that.
I mean,
are you two wearing dresses?
We didn't want to take off our armor.
So you're wearing pants? Question is your armor have pants?
Spare cloth.
you also recall random items of clothing and the bedroll and stuff from his quarters.
Okay, yeah, then we're good. Yeah, we're good.
I was gonna say,
Yeah, there you go.
sock, pair of panties, you know, 'cause that sounds pretty kinky for him, right?
I'll make him roll a Constitution saving throw. Don't worry about it. Katie, you were talking about rope. Was the 50 feet you have not enough, or?
Yeah, 100 because I've got some rope too, so you won't waste all of yours.
Yeah.
Okay. If we can't get them tied up with that.
Then we should be the women for the job.
Okay. Anything else before we get to it?
Sounds like we got our plans, our contingency plans, and now it's time to execute.
Okay. Let me
Better try to be at her.
get you all back on this map. All right. The sun starts to set. It's maybe 20 minutes or so before your expected Gallon and Silt, and Odess, Taddy, and Pearl make their way up to the ship. Take it away, boys and lady.
Alright, I'll start by approaching up the gangplank. Hello!
I want you guys to move your tokens from here on out.
Okay.
Just for so I know where you're going to be. You get most of the way up the gangplank, and the turtle, who you now know to be Rex, or Silt, you know to be Rex, spots you and hollers down, "Hut! Stop right there!
Yeah,
Don't be boarding without permission."
I understand.
And the Kenku comes over. "And what can I do with you this evening?"
Hey, buddy, remember me from earlier? Captain took me on the tour of the ship.
I remember there being some walkabouts, but I don't particularly remember you. Anyways,
Well,
what's your business here?
well, I noticed. I did not notice. Well, I should say I didn't notice when I was here. A cleric. And it just so happens that I come across a cleric of Poseidon. And is very interested in taking care of this ship, as only a cleric can do.
At the mention of Poseidon, he chuckles. "I didn't know there were still people who worship that dead religion."
Oh, come on. Any cleric's a good cleric.
I can't argue that fact, but a cleric that worships a dead god, I mean, have you been living in a box? Poseidon hasn't been worshipped in these parts for decades. Everybody worships Talos now.
Yes, but let's be honest. The world is pretty much well dead at this point. So if he's worshiping a dead god that still bestows upon his blessings a great ship as this,
Listen, we work for the Salvagers Guild. Very clearly, they offer us cleric services in worship of Talos, so long as we worship Talos. Unfortunately, we cannot allow a worshipper of Poseidon aboard the
But
vessel.
you pay them. You pay them, right?
We pay our dues, of course.
But my friend here will do it for free. He just wants the joy of knowing that this great, wonderful ship is blessed and protected over the seas as it sails throughout the world.
Make a persuasion check.
I'll reach out, lay my hand on him, and give him guidance.
Okay.
You want persuasion? You want deception? Because you know I'm lying my fucking ass off right now.
Deception.
You get an extra D4.
And
for that.
you get a D4 with it.
Okay.
It doesn't matter because he rolled a nat 1 on his insight. He strokes the bottom of his being. I guess any blessing is better than no blessing.
You don't have to pay for it. It's free. Who can be free, my friend?
The seas have been particularly rough this year.
Then more the merrier.
He turns up to
Right?
Rex and goes, "They want to bless the ship. You alright if I take 'em to do that?" "Yeah, I'll be fine. Just be quick about it." Okay. Listen, the crew is asleep for the evening. I don't know if they're actually asleep, but they're trying to sleep. So I'll take you down to bless the ship, but you must be quiet about it.
Oh yeah. No, we can be quiet about it.
All right.
Turn and look over my shoulder at Otis and just wink and nod, smile.
Otis just kind of smiles back.
He ushers for you guys to follow. I'll move you here.
Okay. Wherever he goes, we're going to be in line behind him.
Yep. Right at the top of the stairs, he stops and turns to you and goes, "Again, the crew is trying to sleep. It is evening time. We have much work to do tomorrow before our departure. Just get in, do your blessing, and be quick about it. And if you wouldn't mind bestowing a little extra upon the weaponry, as nature has been quite difficult with our travels, I would very much appreciate that."
Well, yeah, we'll start right here. There's one right there behind you, Otis. With that cannon.
Otis is gonna turn around and just kind of very quietly kind of whispers just a quick little prayer, and he pulls out his little holy water flask, and as he does that, he kind of just flicks a little bit of holy water on it, and then does the symbol of Poseidon onto the cannon. Turns around and he just gives a thumbs up to the guys.
Lovely,
Is that
lovely.
quiet enough for you there, boss?
That was perfect. If you could stay like that the entire time, it would be most lovely. And he ushers for you to follow as he brings you below deck.
I'm going to back off on the order and let Otis and Pearl
Okay.
walk in front of me behind him.
Kind of tuck behind him. Got it.
Yes.
So Otis is gonna follow him down, and he's gonna look at him and he's not gonna say a word or anything. He's just gonna point to the cannons like inquiring kind of thing.
He gives you a feathery thumbs up. And then, like, open hand gestures, like, go ahead, just be quiet.
So Otis is gonna begin to kind of move around, and he's gonna do the same thing. He's gonna walk up to each one of the cannons and just kind of
Okay.
say his prayer, all that.
I need to ask, are you actually performing blessings for them, or are you imitating the motions?
You know what? We'll go ahead and just say the blessings. Just because the guy said he's a dead god, so we'll go ahead and do a blessing for it just to prove him wrong.
Okay. Go ahead and move yourself to the first cannon. You're going to bless. Pam, what are you doing here? You are a paladin of Poseidon, so you know the same blessings that he's doing.
Yeah, I'm gonna start sneaking around a little bit and kind of do a blessing inside my head. Just so I don't, it's my way in case somebody breaks in and we don't get caught, like, what are you guys doing? Like, I'm doing gestures, I guess I can say. I'm not really speaking, but I'm doing gestures as I'm going around and trying to pay attention to my surroundings.
Okay, so you are like imitating the blessing while keeping it. Okay, so make a performance check for me. Performance or deception, whichever one you choose.
Let's do deception.
Okay. Okay, and put yourself wherever you want to be.
Wait, no, that's athletics. My bad.
Oh, that was athletics.
Wrong thing.
It's just pole vaulting for everything right now.
Okay, a 12 is still good enough to write it off as you're doing what you say you're doing. Go ahead and move your token wherever you want to be while you're doing that.
How do I move it?
You just drag your token, just like you normally would.
I don't see my token in that.
Zoom out,
Over
and
the other side.
yeah, you're below deck.
He's got the ship in different sections on the map.
Let me.
We're in the,
2 seconds.
One in the middle. If you don't see
Yeah,
your
but
token, try closing the map and open it back up.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I just. Okay. So, I guess. For now, I'll just be like right here.
Okay, so kind of working on the next set of cannons.
Yeah.
And Tatty, what are you up to?
Daddy's just hanging back, letting the priest and the cleric and the paladin do the blessings. I'm just here for the show.
All right. Well, you guys start working your rituals.
If they start moving like towards the other end of the ship, I'll follow. But for the most part, I'm just gonna kind of hang back about where I am now.
Okay.
Out of the way.
Not a problem. We're going to start doing a bunch of jumping back and forth right about this time. Gallon and Silt, make your approach. And you're down at the bottom of the gangplank.
I am going to kind of approach this as like I'm already tipsy. Out of character. This is me out of character, sorry.
Okay.
As Gallant, Silt, do I have permission to kind of like latch onto you flirtily as we like approach the gangplank and kind of act kind of tipsy?
Yep.
Consent is key to success. I like it. All right.
So I kind of like latch on to Silt's arm and just kind of like giggle as I have like a bottle of the rum in my hand.
Okay. Silt, are you doing the same thing, or are you just like carrying her?
I'm a little bit the same thing, but I'm clearly not as gone as she is.
Okay.
Somebody has to figure this out.
I'm gonna call
So
the.
this is totally pretend.
I'm gonna call this a group deception check then, and either both of you can roll deception normally, or one of you can roll it with advantage.
Do you have a good deception? Is that a neutral?
Yes, you do, Katie.
Then we should do one roll with Katie.
Okay.
Because of that wonderful invocation you took, you are really good at deception.
Dealing, persuasive, charming, kitty cat. Let's see. There we go. Advantage.
Okay. You approach the gangplank and like go to put that first foot on, and you can hear Rex up in the mast. Hold on. And you see him start lumbering his way down from the mast and come over. And he offers out a hand to assist both of you on board. He goes, "Captain's been talking about you two nonstop. I'd hate to see you slip and fall and ruin yourselves before the meeting, because if he's in a bad mood, he takes it out on us." But he helps usher you both on board safely. And then once on board, he gestures to the captain's door and goes, just knock, and he's expecting you. And he goes to climb back up the mast.
Make our way to the captain's door.
Yes.
All right. And one of you knock, I'm assuming.
Probably Silk.
Okay. You knock twice, and you hear the captain's suave voice from the other side. Please enter. I'm assuming you both enter, because I just moved your tokens there. Go ahead and make another deception check with advantage, Katie, to see if the sloppiness is taken into account by the captain. I use the word sloppiness lovingly, of course. That's the best the best way I could describe it. Perfect. You enter his quarters. Moodlit would be the way to describe it. You know, some candles strewed about. You notice he's no longer wearing his seafaring outfit. He's now got like some fine silken calf length kind of formal gown, I guess is the best way to describe it. But he's sitting in the head chair at the table, like crossed with a chalice in his hand. He goes, "Ah, lovely. I'm so glad your friend decided to join. Please come in, make yourselves comfortable."
Are we just gonna pass up the offer? And then, like, kind of jauntily, like, puts the rum in my hand on the table.
Okay. Go ahead and move your tokens wherever you want to go.
One of these. There's. Okay, one.
For everybody below deck, about 10 minutes has passed since you started your first blessings. Go ahead and move yourselves wherever you want to be
Oops.
at this time.
Okay, I didn't even talk. We're just gonna the chairs on either side of him.
I'm gonna help you into a chair and then scoot it closer to him, and I'll take a seat and scoot my chair closer to him as well.
Perfect.
Okay.
Thank you.
We're going to jump down below deck real quick while you two start pouring drinks and easing into the evening there. Below deck, you guys have spent the last 10 minutes or so doing blessings. Is anybody doing anything else? The Kenku shifted a little bit. He's kind of got his back to the stairs right now. Make an insight check. Anybody who wants to check on the Kenku. All three of you, kind of keep a side-eye view of him. Taddy, your view is kind of blocked by where you are standing versus him. But Odess and Pearl, you guys definitely both notice he's not paying super close attention to you guys. Like, he looks up every so often, like every minute or so, to make sure that you're not fucking with anything, but he literally just looks up for a second and then goes back to like picking at a claw or grooming himself or something.
I actually want to head over to him.
Okay.
Right up close as I can. And I want to lean in as close as I can and whisper, I don't want to wake anybody, but are we heading down to the gallows of the ship so we can bless the pots and pans for good food as well?
If one of you go quickly, just don't take more than a moment or two. I'm not supposed to let you out of my sight, but obviously, gotta make this quick, so.
I know, and I don't want to wake anybody, but I want to make sure this. We want to make sure that this ship is fully blessed.
Just go quick. One of you go quick. I'm more worried about the weapons, but good food's good food,
Of course. Alright. And now I'm gonna head back here. And, motion for, Pearl.
Okay.
To come over to where I'm at. Once she gets there, I'm gonna lean over and whisper, he says only one of us can go downstairs. I say you head downstairs and make your way to the rear of the ship, and you'll find the the backside of the gallows,
Okay.
and do your blessings.
Got it.
Okay. So Pearl heads below deck, and we will jump back over to the captain's cabin. Pam, go ahead and give me a perception or investigation check, and we'll get back to you in just a second. We are back in the captain's cabin. You guys have poured drinks, made yourselves comfortable, moved the chairs, so you've kind of got him cornered in there.
Draped on his arms a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm kind of like trailing my hand up and down his forearm.
Both of you make an insight check. As he, starts his pretty boy, nobody says no to me routine. Silt, you are very aware that everybody is always ready for something. But Gallon, you can tell he is completely disengaged right now. Like he is 100% in the moment, ready for this menage a trois to kick off.
Out of character, I'm just thinking.
What do you guys want to do?
Make a little bit of small talk while we booze him up.
Okay. Just gonna spend some time boozing him good.
Yeah, I think that's a safe bet.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so too. Don't wanna, I mean, foreplay's half the thing, right?
I would say both of you make a persuasion check. And this is like a combination of keeping him enticed and, like he'll take a sip out of his drink and one of you will lean over with a finger and lift up and lift up the butt of the glass and be like, oh, come on. We know you've got more than that. Things like that. And
And I need to say something out of character.
Go ahead.
Ladies, if you were at a party and you wanted some guy drunk, what would you do?
Are you asking me personally?
I'm saying out of character. If you wanted somebody drunk at a party, what would you do? Do it!
I mean, just keep
Challenge
getting
him in a manly way. I wouldn't be flirting with him.
Beer pong with Everclear. Let's go.
Party!
No, we did that shit in the bear.
I know, I was there. I don't remember what happened, but I remember being the dumbass to suggest playing that game and then waking up the next morning on my floor.
Yeah, fuck that.
I think I would like to just kind of like look at him, kind of like slanted eyes, kind of like under my eyes, and then just kind of look at him and say, so how did you get into captaining this particular vessel?
Well, As you know, ships come by inheritance nowadays. There's really no new constructions. This one I happened to win in a duel.
Oh wow.
Of the more gruesome varieties, I'm quite capable with my sword. If you know what I mean.
I'm sure you are. As I still kind of like firmly grasp his forearm.
Okay. That continues, and we're gonna jump back over to the midship. I forgot the word.
That news.
Yeah. Pearl, you get down to the lower deck and take a look around. There is a lot of shit down here. Like, there is just heaps of crates and barrels, and you can kind of pick out the storage area versus the galley. You don't immediately spot the rope that Taddy said was by the galley, though.
No, I said it was behind the alley.
Behind the galley.
Yep.
Behind it.
So you know it's in the back half of the ship.
Yep.
But-
I tried to give her the directions as quickly as possible.
You know what? Actually, I'm sorry, Pam. Make that perception check one more time. It should have been at advantage.
Okay.
Because you have unbeknownst pirating skills. Okay, that's much better. You spot that rudder line immediately. We're on you, Pam. What are you doing?
Look around, see what I can find, if I can find a rope.
You spot the rope.
Okay, then let's get to business.
Okay. How are you going to try and cut the rope?
With my beautiful weapon that my friend gave me.
But are you just gonna swing at it? Are you gonna try and do it quietly? Like,
I'm trying to do this quietly, of course.
okay. The first thing I need from you is a stealth check.
Okay.
Oh, those are some lucky rolls because you left your armor on, so it was at disadvantage. Go ahead and, with the rapier, drop the hit die in the chat box and then drop the damage die in the chat box.
Okay.
Okay. You cut about a fifth of the way through the rope
Okay.
with that first swing.
Okay.
What do you want to do?
Keep trying.
Okay. Make another stealth check. You go to swing this time and still roll your hit and your damage on it because you do hit it. But when you go to swing, the tip of the rapier hits a piece of metal fairing, like a metal support, on the hull behind it, and it just lets off a ding. Taddy and Odes, give me a perception check.
I'll give myself guidance on that.
11. And I am right next to the steps.
Yep, you both hear the ting and look up, and you can see that the Kenku saw it too and starts slowly working his way over.
Otis is going to immediately motion for the kangaroo to come over to this cannon that he's standing at. Like, hey, it came from right here.
He puts a hand up to you and, like, ushers for you to get back to work and continues over.
I stop him and, that's Pearl downstairs. she's so clumsy. That was her armor clinging from falling. I know you said you only wanted one downstairs, but if you don't mind, I'll go down and check on her, make sure she didn't break something, and we'll pay for it if she broke something, I promise.
Make a persuasion check.
Persuasion or deception?
Persuasion.
Close enough to give him guidance on this.
No, guidance is a touch, if I remember correctly. And you already guided in this instance, so.
Okay, 17 roll.
He
Kinda close.
puts one of his clawed fingers dead center on your chest and goes, I know it was her. I have ears. I know this whole ship. Go get her and get her up here quietly.
Yes, sir. And tiptoe off down the steps.
Okay. And we're going to pause you guys right there and jump back over to the captain's cabin. You guys have been sitting here drinking, getting him to drink more for 5 minutes or so at this point. You've got him a good amount.
still kind of around his torso. Still kind of like playing it sexy and sensual.
Okay.
Kind of like run my fingers along his chest, and then I start tying knots.
Is he wearing shoes?
He is not.
Okay.
He's gonna take his shoes if he was.
Okay. For tying the knots, I'm assuming both of you are working on tying him in whatever various fashions.
Yep, we got consent, so.
Make survival checks, both of you. Okay. Galen, you are
Adept at macrame, my friends.
very confident that the torso and left arm you just strapped down are not going anywhere. But when you glance over at Silt's knots for his legs and his right arm, you could tell that they're not as secured. But with that, we're going to pause and jump back over to the lower deck.
You want to make this out by mid deck?
Yeah, if you want to move there, Brad, or do anything. You would notice as that third clang goes out, the Kenku steps over to the top of the stairs and is like looking down, trying to keep an eye on you and find them at the same time.
Otis is gonna walk over to him, like tap him on the shoulder and be like, put his fingers up to his lip.
Of course we need to be quiet, but your compatriots are down there making all sorts of noise. They're going to wake the crew, we'll notify the Cablin, and then I'm going to be flogged for allowing you aboard.
Otis is gonna look at him and just be like, he's gonna point at the Kenku and just again, just be quiet.
He turns back and he's like squatted down trying to get the best angle through the stairwell that he can. Taddy and Pearl. Oh, sorry, go ahead, Brad.
No, go ahead. It's fine. You go to them.
All right, Taddy and Pearl.
Okay, as I approach Pearl, I'm going to say, he's caught the noise upstairs. I think I got the staff. How close are you to finishing this roll?
Halfway?
No, it's almost through. Like, what's hanging on is the width of a normal rope at this point.
Okay.
Something that you'd be pretty confident could be done with a dagger and a little more finesse.
Not that much.
Okay. Then, if there's not that much, head up the stairs, because he's already heard your noise. I told him I came down to retrieve you,
Okay.
and that you probably tripped. So,
Okay.
if he asked, you were clumsy and fell, and I came down and got you, and I'll be up right behind you in a second.
Alrighty.
As she walks off, I'm going to step up to finish the job with the dagger.
Okay. Stealth, attack, and damage for the dagger. All in the chat box, please.
Stealth. Oh god, I fumbled it. I still got a 7, but
Still roll the damage on it.
yeah. $25 to hit.
And the damage.
Max damage.
Okay. You pull out your dagger and slice it across the rope. There's a little bit of a creaking noise. It doesn't sound too abnormal from a ship swaying on the water. You know, some creaks as the rope completely severs. But it catches you a little off guard and you shift your weight. And when you shift your weight, the large bag of coins lets out a big jingling noise. And just as a moment after that happens, the Kenku steps onto the stairs. And we're going to cut back to the captain's cabin. You two have the captain secured to the chair. Whether or not the restraints will hold, only time will tell. What are you doing now?
Going to find a nice silky blinder. What do you call that?
Yeah, he pulled out multiple strips of silk, so
Yeah, I mean,
there's definitely
blindfold. Thank you. Going to
rig up a
literally
blindfold. Okay.
Yes.
Are you trying to do it snugly or just do it to do it?
I mean, I don't want it to fall down, but I don't want it
Okay.
to like hurt his head or anything.
Okay. I won't make you roll for the tying on that then. Yeah, no problem. You get him blindfolded.
And I sort of whisk my glorious fur across his face as I do it.
Okay.
I'm going to take another rope of silk, and I'm going to gag him.
And then I'm going to look for like a quill pen. Is there a quill pen on the table, perhaps?
Hold on 1 second. I keep closing this window I need. The second you put the gag in his mouth, he starts like he's not into it once that gag goes into his mouth. He is currently fighting the restraints. And the restraints hold for right now.
I'll quickly pull the gag down for him.
It'd be really hard to not only breathe but communicate with that going on. I not okay with that, unfortunately, my darlings. Maybe
Other ways to communicate.
maybe we should take a step back. I think I could use another drink. Would you mind with the blindfold in my arm, please?
I'll give him his drink and I'll bring it to his lips so he can drink.
He takes a sip, and then once he's done, he's, "Thank you, darling. That was quite refreshing, but as I said, I feel a step back might be appropriate at this moment. Let me gather myself. Let's undo these bindings. We can always pick it back up in a moment."
You're not very much fun after all.
Yeah, I thought your reputation was very much into this.
And we're going to jump back over to the bottom deck. The Kenku steps down, looks around. Immediately becomes trained on you, Pearl. Goes, "What is all the ruckus? You said you were going to be quiet. And where is that human fellow?"
I'm actually gonna rush up.
Make a stealth check, see if he notices you rush.
I'm just a little clumsy.
Make a deception check, Pearl.
12.
Okay. He doesn't notice you rush up right behind Pearl. The stairs got in the way. He's, "Yes, your friend said clumsy. All right. You've all been here long enough. We must get you off the ship. Come quickly. Up the stairs. Let's go."
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes.
Kind of push on Pearl's shoulder.
All right.
Can Otis take up an angle down there and kind of see them coming up?
Yeah, you would have had eyes on the Kenku from where you're standing right there the whole time, but you know, he steps down and it's like 5 seconds later. You see Pearl and then Taddy come into view and they come up the stairs. And he's right behind him. He goes, "All right, that's been quite enough. We feel very blessed. I must ask you to leave now."
And I nod at Otis. And it's been blessed downstairs. We're all clear on there. They should have good eats for quite a while.
Otis is gonna nod and acknowledge. And
So, Pearl,
We'll start heading towards the door. Well, stairs. Then the plank or whatever. to leave. We're gonna head to leave.
Okay. You're all going to get just up to the top deck. Trying to, like, keep the timing regular between the two groups. Just as you get to the top deck, back to the captain's galley. Let's see, you had referenced You're No Fun, and you had referenced
Your reputation doesn't.
Reputation.
Make it seem like it's a keyword into this.
Make a... One of you can make a persuasion check.
I'll do it.
I think that might be you. Yeah.
Oh, that was close. I'll show it to you. Yes. Well, Captain's reputation is nothing. He's nothing without it, so I guess I shall let my reputation speak for myself. Do upon me whatever you wish.
Okay.
And he relaxes back into the chair.
Then at this point, I'll like sit in his lap.
'Kay.
And do, you know, stuff on his chest or whatever. Sort of the foreplay things.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll look at Galen and I'll motion to, like, if there's dirty laundry that maybe there's over there by his bed, I'll motion to that and then point at my mouth and then him. And then I'll do one of these things to sort of motion, like, let's get it done quickly now at this point.
Yeah. What am I supposed to do with dirty laundry?
I just, you know, the gag.
Oh, you already have the gag though, right? Because it's a silk around his neck and you kind of pulled it down.
Yeah, but now I got something more vile in there.
Okay. So I'm gonna go scour through, in character, gonna go scour through his dirty laundry.
Yeah, you don't have to scour anything. You find, some dirty socks and clothes piled up in the corner right there.
Okay. Yeah, of course, he deserves it.
He put it in a pile as opposed to it being strewn about like it was earlier.
I throw it to Silt.
And I catch it.
Make a dexterity check. While you're doing that, Odess, Pearl, and Taddy are all ushered off the ship onto the deck. The Kenku, before you step off, is, thank you for your blessings. I'm sorry to usher you off so quickly, but you understand I wasn't supposed to bring you aboard to begin with.
Understood.
But please have a lovely evening, and thank you for your charity. And he turns to...
Good blessings, good sailing. We hope everything's well for you guys, and you guys prosper. Think of us when you come back.
Of course, we shall.
So is it dex check?
Just off your main tab, the left side.
Okay.
Yep, you catch it.
Okay. So I catch it, and I kind of go, what's this? And then I quickly shove it into his mouth and put the gag back up over it.
He, immediately starts choking on it.
Poor guy.
Yeah, he rolled a nat 1 on his con save, so...
Feel a little bit out of burn.
Pearl, Odess, and Taddy, wherever you guys want to move yourself, if you want to stay on the dock somewhere, just move yourself in relation to the ship. But if you want to head back into the market area, just move yourself to the top of the dock there.
Yeah, that's as far as I
No,
go.
we're sitting right here.
Top of the dock for Taddy.
Okay.
I'm gonna motion for the other two, because, I'm thinking, I don't think standing at the end of the plank is a good idea. It looks suspicious.
Yeah, we're moving, but we're staying Close.
Okay. It's kind of like walking a little ways away and then hanging out. Okay. All right, girls, it's all you right now. You've got him completely gagged.
Are there any like weapons, knives, daggers in reachable distance for me?
Reachable distance, no. There is a rapier and a scimitar and a couple of flintlock pistols on the shelf. You do have all of your equipment with you, though. So
Okay,
that,
I have-
so what's within reach would be your longbow and short sword.
I guess I can. I mean, how long is my? What's the size of a short sword?
Like 2 feet, I think. I honestly don't know off the top of my head, but I would venture to say that.
Well, I'm going to leap off of his lap and go behind the chair and get my whip out and do like a chokehold on him.
Okay. Are you trying to hurt him, or are you just...
Right now, it's just, I'm not trying to hurt him, just to keep him.
Okay. Make an intimidation check. So I'll mention it now. We're 4 minutes from scheduled stopping time. You guys want to play late and finish this scene out, or do you want to stop at 11 and pick it up next week?
I mean, I think we're almost done.
Yeah, Taddy's fine.
Okay. So you can kind of hear the, not choking noises, but like he can feel the pressure on his windpipe noises.
Okay. But I'm gonna whisper into his ear too, sorry. Your reputation also has gotten to the Horde.
You can see his facial expressions, what part of his face is yet uncovered, go from terror to agony. I can't think of a word less than terror. Like, it was mistrust, and now it's just absolute terror as he realizes you were sent by the Thronemen.
Yeah. So I, as Silt did that, I moved to the front of him.
Okay.
I'm gonna take my short sword, and I'm going to say, "This is a message to not fuck with the Horde." And I'm going to take my short sword.
Okay.
And I'm going to, as a fellow elf, this is really difficult.
He's a drow. It's not the same.
But he does have elf ears.
That's fair.
Oh, they're covered up right now, though. You can't
Yeah.
see them.
Yeah, but I am gonna pull his hair back, and I am going to trim his ears.
Oh.
You're gonna de-ear him?
Lord.
Bam! Look, they said not to. They said send a message. So I'm gonna send a message. Don't fuck with the Horde. I'm gonna clip his ears. Clip.
Make a sleight of hand check.
Does it have to be sleight of hand?
Yep.
Does she get advantage since his head is restrained with me?
Yeah, I will say you get advantage.
How do you do advantage?
So at the bottom left corner of Fantasy Grounds under the chat box, there's an ADV button. You just
There it is. Okay, yes.
click that, and then you roll it.
Okay, and it's a sleight of hand.
Okay. Roll with your short sword. Just drop it in the chat box. Roll to hit, and then roll damage.
Short sword, and you just said drag it and drop.
Yeah, just drop it in the chat box. Roll the hit. The plus.
I'm playing chat as best I can. So our viewers can keep up.
Oh, I'm sorry, did I miss something?
Yeah, the +4 box. Drag that one as well.
Oh, gotcha. Oh, for the love.
It's okay. So in this type of situation, you're not rolling to see if you're hit. You're just rolling to see if you crit. The sleight of hand was your precision with the blade, and then rolling the hit die just tells me if you hit like an artery or a nerve or something that's going to do more damage. Is how I like this.
We don't want him dead.
Exactly, but that's the same thing like with the rope. I was having her roll the hit die to see if she crits it. Rolling in that one wouldn't have done anything because the stealth check or sleight of hand, whatever.
Gotcha.
But okay, so you cut off the tips of his ears, not as cleanly as you originally intended. Instead of like, instead of rounding the ear, you like cut through the ear and then take off part of his cheek on each side as well.
I look at Salt and I say, do you think that's enough of a message?
Yeah, can we bandage him up before we leave? This is messy.
Yeah, that's fine with me.
Okay.
I just want to make sure that we were in agreement that this was a message of do not fuck with us.
Yeah,
He's like flailing and trying to scream in his restraints right now. But go ahead, if you're going to try and bandage him up, one of you can make a medicine check with advantage.
Go ahead, Salt, and then I'm going to ask him, have you learned to not fuck with the ward?
He's not listening. He's just flailing and trying to scream through his gag. You think you do a pretty solid job patching him up. It's definitely stemmed the bleeding a little bit, at least.
Okay, because he's obviously panicked right now, I would like to take some of his blood with my fingers.
Okay.
And I'm going to write out on the table, just to make sure it's very clear. Don't fuck with the horde.
Okay.
Wait, period. Full stop.
Okay. Fair enough. What are you guys doing next?
I think we're hightailing out of here. We'll leave him bound, because everyone's going to find him later.
grabbing 2 of the bottles of rum that we came in with.
I'm gonna make sure my hands are clean from blood and like wipe them on his silken white nighty thing.
Good call. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
And
Gee.
take a deep breath and walk regally out, giggling and
Acting tipsy again.
Okay. Performance checks.
Performance checks. I think
Or one
Sil
of
did it last time.
or one of you with
With
advantage.
advantage.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. The crew, the Kenku and the Turtle both like look at you and you think you hear the Kenku mutter to himself something about the captain losing his touch, and usually it takes a lot longer than that as you both make your way off the ship.
alrighty.
And
Continue on into the market.
followed by our comrades.
You both make your way off the dock to the market and meet up with the rest of the group, and that is where we will stop for tonight. Good plan. That's not the way I envisioned you going about it, but that worked out pretty well.
I hope that was the stuff we needed to get.
I'm most concerned about is that basketball-shaped size of bag isn't what we need.
Yeah.
But honestly, as my I don't know that as my character.
Fake loot, it's all bottle caps. The Kenkus like shiny things. But I'm going to go ahead and stop the stream real quick, and then we can talk amongst ourselves. But thank everybody who came to watch episode 2. Sorry the audio cut out there a little bit. Hopefully it will be on the recording. So if you want to jump back in on my Twitch page and watch the stream replay, hopefully the audio.
Back on, apparently.
Yep. Yep, I saw that, but hopefully the audio held out for the recording, and I will make sure to publish that to my page immediately as well on YouTube. So thanks everybody for coming. Make sure you tune in Fridays for Lord Z's Fantastical Dungeon. If not, we will see you next week back here. Same bat time, same bat place for episode 3. Bye.